Hi guys, this is Diane Baker with Diane's Wreaths and Florals, where we teach you how to make beautiful wreaths. We sell them and we also teach you how to make them. Today we're actually here from supposed to be sunny Florida, and we just went through a hurricane, so you're going to have to kind of bear with us while we're doing this quick video for you guys. But I wanted to show you, this is one of the kits that you're going to be putting together, and we're going to start out with your wreath form. Your wreath form here is what they call a twig wreath, which is very, very, very narrow, thin. You are going to have a little hook back here on the back. Most of you will have that. That's going to be where you're going to hang it from. So you know this is going to be your top. Okay, so if we can go ahead, there you go. So we can go ahead and I'll show you how we're going to start this. Now, I'm going to talk about what's in the kit. And as we're putting this together, there are going to be some pieces like this that fly around, but try to keep them all in there. Once it's all glued, it will all stay together, because a twig is basically put together with wire. So none of this is like a regular wreath form. So what you want to have is you want to have your clippers and you want to have your hot glue gun. I'm going to be going back between my hot glue pot and my hot glue gun, but I'm going to show you how to do it with the hot glue gun for as many as I possibly can. Okay, in your kit, let's talk about what's in your kit. Of course, you're going to have your wreath. Okay, you're going to have your pre-made bow. We'll talk about fluffing that later. You're going to have 2 baggies. Okay, each one's going to have 15 each of these. Okay, and they're all wrapped in paper. So you're going to have two of these. There's 15 each, so a total of 30 of these. Okay, you're also going to have some of these flowers here that are put together for you. There's only a few of these light color, fall green color, yellow, green, yellow, orangey color. And then you're going to have another one that's like this. It's going to have a pumpkin with it, okay? That's the first thing I want you to pull out. I want you to put everything else back into your container. Only pull this out for right now, okay? So we're going to take, these are going to be one of the last things you put in. So we're going to put these back into the container, and we're going to put these back into the container, okay? Or back into your section, okay? So now we're going to start out with this batch here. Now we've already talked about where you're going to be hanging. It's going to be hanging from this little hook right here. All right. So that you already know that's your top. So we're going to work as that being our top, and then we're going to work around. So you want to undo. We try to put pipe cleaners around all of these to keep it all in place for you. Okay, so these are some of the little pieces that are in here. So mine are going to be a little bit different than yours. Yours is pieced together a lot better than mine, because I was just taking pieces of it so I could show you how to put this all together. Okay, now the first thing that you want to do, let's talk about what it's supposed to look like first of all. This is what your wreath is supposed to look like when it's done. Okay, so the very first thing we're going to do, okay, we are going to go ahead and we're going to put in the pumpkin right here, because we already know right beside that we're going to put our bow in. But we're not going to put our bow in till later on, because I don't want you to get glue all over the place. Okay, it's very important that you don't get glue on your fabric, on your ribbon. But
Kimmy.
This is So we're going to start from here, and we're going to work our way all the way around, but we're going to go this way with it, okay? But you can see how all of these are put in, all of these big pieces of greenery, okay, is simply put in, okay? So that's what it's supposed to look like, similar to that. Now, it's your wreath. You can do it any way that you want to do, okay? So, some of you are going to have, like I had those extra berries there, so I tried to take the brunt of some of these older pieces. But what we're going to do is we're going to start out, sorry, okay, so you should have 2 pine cones. So remember, you want to kind of just place things where you think it should go, okay, before you cut. Always place before you cut and glue, because once you glue, that's it, okay? So don't rush through this. Take your time, all right, to try to get this completed. So a lot of times what we will do is we'll take a piece like this, that's a large piece, and then what I want you to do is I want you to cut it, okay, to about right here, and I want you to cut it at an angle, which leaves this piece, okay? This is a little piece here, which we'll use that piece. So take your glue gun, and I want you to put a little tiny dab of glue. Don't go crazy with your glue, guys. Honestly, you will make a mess out of your wreath if you do, okay? That should keep that together, okay? So as we're going along, you'll want to take this piece and put it over to the side, this smaller piece, and go ahead and use the piece that you just cut. You see that size that I just cut from there? Okay, so I'm going to start right here, okay, on my wreath form, right here. Now, this is very important. When you start out with these, okay, you do not want to go straight down into it. If you do, this is what you're looking at on the other side. You have to go towards the wreath itself, like this. Okay, so you see it's not showing on the back side. It's because I'm working with the form of the wreath. Again, here's my front. This is where I'm going to hang it. Okay, so I'm not going to glue this yet. I'm just going to kind of piece it there. Remember what I said? We're just going to piece it at first. This whole piece here, all right, we already know this is going to go this way, okay, because that's the bottom. Right over here is where we're going to start our bow. So we're going to kind of just piece it in there and just decide, do I need to cut some of this off, or do I like it? I think we like it. So pull it out and go ahead and glue it. All right, so when you go to glue it, I'm hoping that you're using Gorilla Glue, because that's the best thing to keep it together. Okay, and you see how I took at the end of that and I wrapped it around and around and around, because it's not spreading the glue everywhere. So what I want to do is I want to stick it up through the wreath, like I said, on following the wreath form. Okay, not going straight down. That makes sense? Do not go straight down. Do not go straight down into it. See how that is? Okay, that's going straight down.
Can't see it.
So you're going to have a little bit of that, and if you do, you can go back and clip it off. Okay, but for right now, because that was a long stem, that's what you're looking at on the other side of this. Okay, so we're going to go ahead, and I'm going to take some of my long pieces like this, okay, and I'm going to go ahead and cut this, and that's what I want you to do. And I want you to keep it to about this length here. I want you to take these other pieces where the stems are. I want you to put a little dab of glue there, okay, almost like stick your glue gun down in it. All right, and then you can pull the leaves up to where it attaches like that. All right, we do not want this long of a stem, so we're going to cut that off. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing with the next one. The next one, I think I'm going to leave it long like that because I just want a little bit of contrast. If I have to cut it, I can, but right now I'm going to leave it to about right there. Okay, so you kind of want to do that. What happens is it gives you a couple of extra little leaves that you can use as fillings. So that's what I want you to do to get prepared for putting this together. And Kathy's here, right here on the other side of me. She's helping me video so we can make sure you guys get this. And remember, like I said, this is what happens when you use too much glue. You see that? That's exactly what happens.
Let me zoom in.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me zoom in.
That's exactly what happens. That looks like a hot mess. All right. So you don't want that. You don't want glue dripping everywhere. You want this to look natural. If you're going out in the natural environment, you're not seeing glue spots everywhere. So I'm going to wait for this to dry a little bit, and then I'm going to pick some of that off. Okay, but you're going to do it, okay? Everybody does it. You're going to put a little bit more glue on there than you would normally do, okay? So don't worry about it. If you do, I'll show you how to pick some of it off. Just try not to do it, okay? I'm going to stick this in here. And again, I want to use this whole bush. Again, you can do it however you want. It is your wreath to do as you wish. Okay? So if we're going to go by, pretty much by what the style is here, okay? I kind of went like, well, actually I went this way, all the way around, and then I added this guy at the end. So we're going to go ahead and start. Since I have this big piece here, and I've got a smaller piece here, okay, so I'm going to basically do this kind of number. All right, so I'm going to take this smaller out. I want a little bit of that pine cone right here. All right, so you see how I'm spreading it apart? So I've got another pine cone here, so I don't want to put it here. I want to bring the pine cone back over here. Okay, so your pine cone is not like right up on top of each other because you only have two of them. But I need to fill in some gaps right here. So this is a nice piece here. Okay, you just kind of pop in. Then you've got this nice piece here, so we want some nice stuff at the top. All right, now some of you have them where your berries are all attached. So you're going to basically do it the same way that you did with your pine cones. Okay, so right now I kind of like this. I'm like, okay, you look at it, pick it up and look at it. Remember, this is your middle, wherever this piece is here. Pick it up and look at it. Say, okay, that's fine. I know my bow's going to go right here, so I'm okay with that. So I'm going to go ahead and glue it. Okay, so again, I'm going to pull it out. See how I'm pulling this out this way? And I am going to put the glue on. I'm going to twist it, and I'm going to stick it into the wreath form like this. Okay? And I'm going to keep turning my wreath towards the glue so I'm not gluing across. All right, so we already know where we want to put it. All right, so we just twist it like that. You see how I'm not getting glue everywhere? All right. Okay, here's the next one. Now, if you get a piece of this twig that gets stuck in there, it's not a big deal. Just pull it out. You can clip it off, but I would try to keep as many as you possibly can on this. Okay? And it sticks right in there. Okay? That's what you have to do all the way around it. All right? Now we know that we're going to have a big bow here, so I'm not paying a lot of attention to this part down here until after I get the bow in. Okay? So we are going to go ahead and do this one. But you see how it lays better when you just go to the sides, when you just kind of just fill it, put it in towards the side of the wreath form itself. So if you do it, a little bit of glue. I mean, it's a lot of glue, don't get me wrong, but you don't want to saturate your whole wreath with it. With this particular wreath, you do not want to do this. Because if you do, it's going to go straight through the wreath itself, and you're going to have a whole bunch of glue spots all over the place in the back. All right? Okay, so in my particular wreath, like I said, my berries weren't on. I just picked up some berries just so we can show you just where, you know, where you could put some berries. All right, so I have a couple of leaves left, okay, and I have some berries. I'm going to put my berries in last, but you probably have some already that have the berries on them. So I would probably, I'll show you where I'm going to put mine. I'm going to go ahead and fill this up right here because this needs more in this area, maybe more here. Well, let's see. So if we put that one there, let me show you how easy this is. This is the one that, okay, this is the one I put glue on. So I'm going to pick that glue off of there because it looks nasty. Okay, you can do that. Well, it doesn't look natural. It doesn't look like a natural wreath. Okay, so I picked off, so it dries quick. So I'm just picking it off, okay? See, you pick it off. It's still on there really good because it's glued where it's supposed to be. So I'm looking at this before I glue this because I feel like I need a little bit more at the top because I know I'm having a bow down here on the bottom. So if I think I need a piece there, and I have one more piece here. So I think I'm going to do it just like this. Okay? So we're going to go back again before I add my berries. Now, yours will have berries, so instead of where I'm putting these, you will put the ones with the berries in those positions. So I'll show you where we're going to put those. But yours are, I believe, are all attached to your wreath form. I mean, excuse me, to your whatever these are called. Your greenery. You're already attached to your greenery. Y'all, it has been a very, very, very long week and long weekend with this hurricane, and we have, you know, had to clean up. Everything is a hot mess here. Thank you, Lord, though. We've had, no one has gotten hurt. Everybody in our community is doing well. We survived. We finally got electricity.
We're the only ones with electricity.
Well, yeah, that's true. We are the only ones with electricity at this
We're
point.
only 2 streets.
So, yeah, and so we're very, very blessed. So, you know, but if we look like a hot mess, you know why.
We are.
So, so that's why, you know, but we wanted to make sure you guys got this, and it might be a little later than what you expected, and I do apologize, but, you know, we're doing the best we can with what we got. Okay, so now, there's that. Remember, there's my thing that I'm hanging it. Okay?
And remember, the empty spot is where your bow's going to go.
Right. I want to do that in just 1 minute. All right. So there's that. Now I'm going to show you what here. I have berries. Okay, so I need to put some berries in. So I have these berries that are different. So I'm going to probably put those. I know I need a big berry here. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead. Some of these have your steel picks in it, which is fine. You still want to go down into your wreath at an angle. Do not go straight down. You can't cut these with your wire cutters. Okay, so you've got to go to an angle with this. Now I just use my glue pot. Some of you don't have a glue pot, but I'm just doing that for time's sake. Okay, but you can still use your glue gun. All right, so I've got that one here, and then I'm going to go right here with this one. Okay, let me do it with this because this is what you have. Okay, so this goes right here, like that. Now, I have this extra one. I have a lot of berries down here on the bottom. This is accenting the berries, but I think I want to pop this in about right here because I think I want a little bit more berry here to kind of lift this one up a bit. So I'm going to stick this one here, so it's a little bit different. So, I may not do that. I might wait and use that in my bow, okay? I always like to put, see how there's a berry here in the bow? I always like to put stuff in my bows, okay? Now, at this time, I want you to pull your bow out. Now, it's going to be wired in the back like this, okay? You're going to have all this wire. Now, 2 things you can do. All right, you're going to fluff your bow. But the way to put your bow on,
Show them how to fluff
you can
it.
either, yeah, I'm going to show them in a second. I want you to put this on first. Don't worry about fluffing until after we get it on there. Okay, because it's going to get mashed because you got to turn it over. All right, so you either take, 2 things you can do. Real easy. You place it on here and then you take the 2 wires. Because this is a twig wreath, I mean.
Well, that's in the underside.
You're not going to really, I'm getting to it. You're really not going to see where you put it through, okay? So it would be on the back side like that, okay? Now, or you can try to put it, the 2 wire pieces in between the wreath, which is a little bit more challenging, but if you feel like you want to do that, you can. But you can always wrap it around the wreath. So if you want to stick these 2 wire pieces down into the wreath, like I said, it's a little bit more challenging. I prefer not even to bother with that. I'm just going to put this right here, okay? And I'm going to kind of go around the twig. See, I've gone around the twig like this. You won't really notice the difference on it, all right? So here's the back of it, okay? So we're going to turn it over. This is why I didn't want you to fluff your bow, because if you're going to turn it over, I'm smashing it back down, so you got to turn around and refluff it. So just take it, and you kind of want it pretty taut, and you want to keep going around and around and around, okay? Until it's nice and you're comfortable with where it's at. Some of you have more wire on there than others. It's okay. Don't feel like you have to use all of the wire. Just enough to where you have maybe a finger, half a finger right here, and go ahead and cut it. All right, like that. Then what I want you to do, you don't want this sticking out, because that's what's going to be on your wall. Okay, so you don't want to do that, or your door. Okay, so you want to take it, you want to stick it back into the wreath and push it in. Okay? You're going to push that piece that you just cut and push it down into the wreath. All right, so now, again, here we go. You see how it's all smashed up? Well, now we can play with it. So what I want you to do, okay, is I want you to, first of all, get your tails, okay? Get your tails straight here, okay? Get those straight. Now, some of you, I don't know if we dovetailed yours or not. I'm going to show you how to dovetail, because these are not dovetailed. But what I want you to do is I want you to stick your hand in each part of the hoop on the ribbon, and just kind of fluff it out with your hands, okay? Just kind of just go back and forth with it like this. A lot of you probably already know how to do this, but that makes it a really nice fluffy bow, okay? So, all right, something like that. All right? Now, I'm going to show you, I got to get my good scissors. If yours are not, we try to dovetail everything for you. Sometimes we leave them so we can show you how to dovetail. So I'm going to show you how to dovetail these.
Yeah, because I can't remember if we did or not.
Yeah. I don't know if we did or not either.
Well, no.
Okay. So, easiest way to do it. Easy, easy, easy. You just want to fold it towards you like that. And then you just want to cut. All right. And then you take this part and you use your fingers like that. Okay. So again, fold it towards you and cut it at an angle. Okay? And you can cut these as short as you want. Just make sure that you don't cut them too short, because you can always recut them, but you can't make it longer unless you do a whole new bow. So, alright, so that's all you do with that. Again, you're folding it over, you're taking your scissor and you're going to an angle just like that. Now, if you want to do the other kind where you're taking it and cutting it, you know, like this, at this and this way, that kind of goes to a point, you could do that too. Okay, but I prefer the dovetails with this. So this is how this one is looking so far. I'm holding it up. This is where it's going to be hung. Okay? Alright, now, like I said, I got this little piece here of this stuff. Now I may not put it in here. I don't know yet. Okay, I may not put it in my bow, but I usually kind of like it in there because it just kind of comes out a bit. See? But again, I need something here, so. Huh? Okay, I'm gonna wait on that still because I can always wait. All right. If you're not sure where you want to put something, I usually like wait for a few little things towards the end to be able to just put stuff in, because I mean, there's going to be, like you can see through here, there's a lot of blank spaces, so we want to try to fill those spaces. The next thing you want to do, I don't want you to use these yet. Okay, these, do not use these yet. These are going to be last. Okay, so grab a batch of these. Like I said, everybody should have 30 of these pieces here. Like I said, I'm going to put this to the side because I don't know where I want to put it yet. All right, and then these again, okay, these have longer stems on them than what we probably want. So I'm going to go around again, just like we did before, and we're going to stick them in places. Now I like to put these, if you'll notice this wreath, I have clusters. Okay, so like up here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 clusters, and then I skip on up here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 clusters. Okay, another cluster, okay. You see here I got something here in the bow. So I mean, you know, you do it however you want, but I like to do it in clusters. And I probably should have saved a piece of my greenery. I don't think in this one I had enough greenery, but you should have enough greenery to put in your bow. Okay, so if we're going to do it the same type of technique, I got 5 clusters. So if I'm going to do that again, I'm not putting it in yet. I just want to see if I like it. And what I like to do is just kind of go ahead and go all the way around with it. You may not use all of these, okay? You might use a few. You may not use, you know, you might use all of them. You may not use all of them. Somebody else may use some of them, and you take some from the other person. It's up to you. It's your wreath however you want it to look. There's no rhyme or reason to it. Just pop them in. Once you get them popped in, then you can go back and glue them. Again, once you've glued it, that's it. It's hard to get it unglued. Now some of these, I will tell you, some of these wreath forms, I've had these wreath forms, and some of them may have a little bit of glue on them or something like that. And they came with a lot of these on it, and I picked them off because these particular twig wreaths here are very, 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 very expensive. So I was able to find them at a really nice price, and I wanted to share that with you. Okay, so there's nothing wrong with it at all. It's just, you know, we've used them. It's been used. When I bought them on clearance, and they came with some of these. So we ended up taking these off and making our own wreath. That's what you can do at home too. Okay, now I'm going around first and just putting these in places, and then I'm going to pull them back out and I'm going to glue them, because I might say, no, I don't like that there, I don't like this here. That's the beauty of doing a grapevine wreath. That's what you can always do that. Okay, so good so far?
Oh yeah.
Sorry we are not able to do this live like we wanted to.
That would have been fun.
But we still will have fun. And cheers, ladies.
Cheers.
Cheers, ladies. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, cheers.
Okay. It's vodka and diet 7-Up, Chrissy and Kenny. Keto friendly.
Mine's not. It's Crown
Hers is
Royal.
Crown and diet ginger ale. Pretty close.
Now, again, like I said, I'm going to around with the wreath like here, because if you try to go back this way, what's going to happen is you're not going to follow the round part of it here. Okay, does that kind of make sense? So if you try to start over here, what's going to happen? You're going to end up in a point here instead of it going completely around. Okay. Now I'm starting with these here towards the front of the wreath, okay? But I like to put some towards the back of the wreath as well. So that's where my next batch is actually going to come in at. I'm going to stick this in here, all right, and this one in here, like that, all right? And then you want to step back and look at it for a minute. Say, you know, do I like that? I mean, you know, yeah, okay. So now you're going to grab your next batch here, and you're basically going to fill in some other gaps with these, all right? All right. And I think I'm going to use I think I'm going to put, since I don't have any of the greenery, I think I am going to punch this guy right in here because I don't have any more of the greenery like you guys have. Have another piece of greenery, Kathy? Here.
You want it out of this?
Yeah. Just a little piece, like with a berry, because that's what this is. Because I'm making this for you anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Let's see. That's perfect. Okay. So you're gonna have like this piece here. So I'm making this one for Kathy. So we're gonna stick this one. So what you can do, I'm one of those that always have something coming out of the bow. So you don't have to do this. It's up to you. But I like doing it because it looks like it's growing through the bow. Okay. So I think that's very, very pretty. Is that too much?
Let me see. Hold it up. No, hold it. The wreath.
I think it's too much.
It might be too much. The long green.
Yeah, the long green is. So we need to take the long green.
I have this little berry with a little bit of green.
I can take some of this green off of it too. Let me have that. That's perfect. Look. This is good. Yeah, it won't go because we got it in the pit. It's still good.
That's not going to go in there. Hold on, hold on.
Let's see. What we got?
Yeah, that's not. It's not really.
Here, come on up. Take this. Oops. Here, take those out. Okay. This in here. So yeah, so see how you can take and you can. Okay, first of all, you can buy these in bushes. Okay. I bought when I purchased this to do this wreath. I bought these in. We've already cut them all up, but you can buy big bushes. And then we took them and we cut them all apart. So you can do something like this. Like if you want to make your own, you just take some apart, put some on there, and then that way you can put it any way you want. So I kind of want this in here because I think that is very, very pretty.
That's real pretty.
Okay? And then we're going to probably pop in, I'm going to go ahead and put him right about right here. I think he needs to be. Well, where did he need to be? Let's put him up here. Okay, so there's a little bit of something different going on there. All right, and then looks like to have a little bit of this coming through too, about right here. Okay. All right. So let me show you before I'm going to glue what I have so far, and I'm going to show you how to glue this in here. So I'm going to take this out, pop this out here. So I'm going to take my glue gun. And see how I cut that kind of short? Okay, so I'm going to take my glue gun again. I'm only going to go across the part here. Now, right inside of the bow, all right, I want to be able to reach where I've got the grapevine. And I'm going to kind of go to a slant, okay? So it goes right in the middle of the bow towards, you want to kind of move the bow apart a minute. And then you want to go ahead and stick it down into the grapevine. Same way with this piece here, I want to do it this way. Okay, so I'm actually going to go in between these two ribbons, right, see, right here, right in between these two ribbons, I'm going to hit that grapevine right here, all right? And I just want to put this in real quick, okay? If you guys got glue pots, this is a great way to do it too. You just can't, this is a tricky thing. You can use way too much and it will burn the snot out of you. Okay, so there's that, all right? And once it's in there, it's in there. So that's, my bow is done. So I don't have to mess with the bow anymore other than just fluff it. Okay, isn't that pretty?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so now I'm gonna go ahead so I don't get lost. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and put, I want to put some of these on the outer banks of this wreath. Okay, now I'm using the longer stems, and the reason why, and that's why you have these two batches. The reason why is because I want them to stick out further. Okay, so you see how this is sticking out further here? See? So this is the one I just put in. These are longer stems, so you don't have to cut these as short. All right? And I'm still being able to do the same concept as I was with the doing it with the shorter pieces in here. And again, I'm just placing them in, and then we're going to glue like crazy. Okay? And I'll show you. Now, if you think that you're like, no, I don't want to do it, Diane, I don't want to do it that way, I want to glue as I go, you glue as you go. But this always works out the best for me this way, because that way if I look at it and go, I don't want that there. And I don't have to worry about messing with the glue and messing the wreath up, because if you keep messing with stuff, it does mess the wreath up. Okay? So you see how we've got some of these. Let's look at it. Okay, and you want to hold it up a little because you haven't glued it all. All right, so you see how this is? Okay?
Pretty.
All right, so now we know we've got some space in here that needs to be filled. It looks like to me we're pretty much okay on our sides. So I'm going to go ahead, now I'm going to cut this piece because I want to stick this right inside of here, because this looks like a little bare spot. Okay, so we're going to put that right there. And that actually helped that. Even though there's a berry there, we want to kind of just contrast it with this white berry here. Okay, like this. All right, so it just kind of looks like it's just coming and going. It just kind of grew all different places. It doesn't have a special place that it's going to. It's nature. Okay? And like I said, if you don't use all of yours, don't worry. So we have a little bit of space down here. We need to pop some of this so this just comes in through this, so we're not having, like, you know, not enough stuff there. Let's see, let me look at this. Yeah, okay. This looks like it needs a piece right here. And again, when I'm going to go glue this, I'm going to take this long piece, I'm going to go up, and, well, I'm actually going to cut that piece. Sorry. That's going to be cut because I don't want this to go through the back of my wreath. All right? I'm going to leave these extra 4 out right now and start gluing. And then I could pull my wreath up here on this form, take a look at it, and see what else we need. Okay? So let's go ahead and get that done. And then I'll show you, we're going to use the light color green, light color bushes inside of it. So to get started, you know you've already done your bow. So I would say, let's go ahead and go this way. All right? So I'm going to pull this one out. I'm going to glue like this. And I'm going to push this one back in, right where it came from. Now, again, I'm going to do the same thing here, but for right now, I'm going to go ahead and use my glue pot so we will save some time. But you can just go straight on, straight through. Okay? You want to use, if you use a glue pot, don't go nuts with it. Use a little bit, because a little bit goes a long way. But a glue pot is really a lot of fun to work with, because you could just dip it in and dip it out. Okay? We got these at like Hobby Lobby. I think what, $30 or something like that. You know, a couple people can use them. But like I said, if you want, you know, you got a glue gun. So you remember how I showed you how to use the glue gun. Let's look at it again. You're going to take it, you just go to the stem here. You're going to twist it at the end, okay? And then you're going to put it right into your wreath towards, at a slant. Always at a slant, okay? And you can go back there if you're like, oh, I forgot where I put it. Well, just, if you pull it out, it ain't glued, so, okay? So that's what you're going to do here, all right? And like I said, I'm just pulling each one of these in like this and gluing it in. All right? Because I've already got it into position, I don't have to worry about it. So I just keep going. Again, here's a long piece. Remember what we talked about, the long piece. Okay? Long piece, and I wanted it longer because I wanted it to stick out. See how that's sticking out around the wreath form there? That's what I wanted to do. Okay? This here. And I've been told that I say okay a lot, and I do apologize. I'm trying not to, and I just don't know how. So if anybody has any kind of suggestions for me, I sure do appreciate it, because I have a tendency just keep saying okay. And I'm hoping I'm not aggravating anybody with that. Not my intentions, but it's a habit that I need to try to break and come up with another word, but
I don't notice it, Diane. I think you're worried too much.
well, I've had somebody say that to me before. You say
some old lady.
Yep. But that's okay. I mean, you know, everybody's, you know. Sometimes I know if I watch videos of other people doing stuff, they're like saying the same thing, and you're like, oh, Lee, why do you have to say that all the time? No. You know, we all have these things. So you see how, well, glue pot does make it easier, y'all, I could tell you that. But, you know, enjoy yourself, drink your wine, have fun, don't overthink it, just put it together, you know, that's what I always say. Just have fun with it. I hope that you guys are all able to see all of this and are able to follow okay. You see how I'm pulling something out really, really easy? That means it's not glued. So everything's already been clipped, everything's already been cut, so you know all you're pulling it out, gluing it, and putting it back in. But just remember, please remember to go to the sides. If you try to stick this straight in, this is such a thin wreath form, it is going to go on the other side. See how, okay, I knew I got that one, see? These ones I don't. See the difference? Try to pull it, this one comes right out, so I know I didn't do that. Okay? Yep, there I said it again. And that one's good. Alright, so if you want to go back and check yourself at the end, and go back and pull on these. If they come out, then it's not glued. Alright, but that's pretty glued. So let's take a look at it. Let's move this one. And let's take a look at what we've done real quick.
Yeah, they're pretty big.
Okay. And I'm going to hang it from your little hook here. All right.
I like
Not too bad, guys, not too bad. So now you can make the decision whether you want to put the rest of these in there or not. I put them in there because
I think the top left corner needs a little bit more. Yeah.
So if you can hold it up that way, you know, by helping each other out, I'm going to choose to use my glue pot like this, and I'm just going to go ahead and stick it in there like that. Okay?
Yeah. Yep.
Lisa goes there.
Need one down to the left of the bow.
Right here.
Yep.
Okay. Now I like to put a lot of stuff in my wreaths.
Yes, she
does. I don't like a skimpy wreath, but we're getting low in here. It needs to go somewhere. I'm thinking maybe we should pop a little something right out of here. What do you think?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, for sure.
All right, let's
Like
pop
it.
Let's pop that one. See how this is a long stem? So we're gonna pop this one in there. Okay? And we're gonna lift up our bow, and we're just gonna put it right up underneath the bow, just like that. Well, that one might have come over on the other side. If it did, it's okay. We'll clip it. Now one more. Where are we gonna put it, ladies?
Top about 10 o'clock. Think of a clock. Right down a little bit.
Yep.
Maybe to the left a little bit. Right around there.
Here?
Yeah.
That
Just
good?
to kind of even it out. Yeah. You could put it behind. It doesn't have to be in front.
Okay.
Because over to the right, you got a lot more. That's okay. I mean, it's still okay.
Right there.
Yeah.
Right?
Nice.
Is that good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now, you're like, okay, so what do I did all of that, now what do I do with these? Okay, so what you're going to do with these little guys here, all right?
Which shape? Show them what you're talking
These
about.
these are the little, there's only a few little leaves on here, but I thought they would be really pretty just to kind of anchor them around the middle. Okay? Look, not ready to have too much glue there. So what happens with that? It gets set to the side, and then I fix it. Okay? Cut. All right. So these again are going to have to be cut, and I'm going to put this down on the table so you can see. And I think it's very, very pretty. This isn't a hard wreath to do. Like I said, the only mistake I think that you could ever make with this is if you just glued it to death and it looked like a mess. So like I said, just be careful with that. I've had a lot of people that do that. Again, I'm going to place these where I think I need to go before I glue them. I always do that just so I can pull them out. Okay, so these I'm going to kind of bend in just a little bit because I want them to face out of the wreath. So we're just going to stick them in here and there like that. So that adds just a little bit of color. And I'm going to take this one and do the same thing, and I'm going to bend this one as well. And I might just bend that one this way because I want it to stick out just a little bit. Okay, see how that is? See how pretty that, and now we got some of you, I think you all have pumpkins.
Yeah, I think we did send pumpkins. Some were burgundy and some were orange.
Okay. And so what we're going to do with that, because I got a big pumpkin here, so you could have done this. Okay, this is where you can pull it out. You could have said, oh, it's got a little baby with it. So you put this pumpkin here if you wanted to. Okay. If I wanted to, which does not look bad at all. I kind of like that. Okay, so I think I'm going to leave that there. But you see what I mean about where you could pull it right back out without it being glued. Okay, so then we have this one here. Okay, and we got a couple of others. And like I said, it's up to you how you want to put these in. If you don't want to put these in, then don't. Put as much as you want in it. Like I said, it's your wreath. If you want to move the bow, if you'd rather have the bow up here, it's up to you. If you'd rather have the bow on the bottom, again, that's up to you. So this will be the last thing. So the last thing you would do is we have all of this. I think I'm just going to stick him right here. And then we'll glue him in a minute. And ladies, let's see what we got. Okay? And I do know I have to glue those. So we will glue those in here. But there you go. There's your wreath.
Beautiful.
So you can, like I said, you can fluff the bow. You can do the bow however you want. If you want to add more stuff here, you can move these around. Even though they're glued in, you still can move them around. All right? But you always want to have a top and a bottom. Because I've seen a lot of times too where we've made designs and they, they get hung a certain way that's not intended for the way that the wreath is supposed to look, and so it looks lopsided or something. So, but anyway, I think that's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. I'll show you something else too. The last thing to do is to glue in those little pieces. So I hope that the steps help you on how to put this together. When we start with your big, basically your greenery stuff in the back and the first, and you want to do your fillers. And then you would do your big fillers, then your smaller fillers, and then your very small fillers last. So it's like a, I don't know, what are you going to call it?
I'm never good at finding words, you know that.
Well,
COVID took that away from me.
Okay.
You know,
layering.
we know.
It's layering. It's
Yeah.
layering. Okay? And anything that you do in this kind of work, layer. This is something, the next thing that we're doing, this is a wine bottle wreath here, just to let you guys know. Okay, this
Or
is so
candle.
stinking cute. You can actually use a candle in it, yes.
Turn it so I
But
can
you
see
can-
the side. No,
So
the
this
other
is-
way. Look at that. Now pretty.
That is very, 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 very cute. So this is the next one we're going to be doing. We also
The pumpkin.
have-
Show the pumpkin.
well, this pumpkin is
That's all right. I like it like that.
it's not ready because we don't have a bow in it. Okay, but this
True.
was one of the pumpkin leaves here. Pumpkin arrangements, which is really, really cute. So we've got these. Okay. We're
This.
doing. This is our next fall class here. I'm going to try to not move this around too much, but this is our next fall wreath here that we're
It's
doing class for.
Deco mesh.
This is all deco mesh with flowers in it. We didn't use so much ribbon, we used flowers. This one was a spring wreath that we did as a custom. Beautiful, beautiful. And then I want to show you what we're coming up with. And we're hoping, because of everything, the tragedy that happened here with Ian, our nice little hurricane. This is one of the wreaths here that we're going to be presenting for our Halloween bash that we're doing in our clubhouse here, which is so much fun. They get to pick out their base, which is this piece here, and then they get to pick out whatever they want it. So there's this choice here, which is so much fun. There's also a scary one here.
That's the haunted Dracula.
Yeah, this is the Dracula one. And let's see, we got the blue
witch's hat.
and then we got the witch's hat here. Let's see. Got it?
Yep.
And then you have this one here, which is the witch's hat. So this is so much fun. So much fun. These ladies are going to have a blast. We're just hoping that we'll be able to do this. We're supposed to have the class at the 5th. I don't know if we're going to have to make it at a different date. I'm not sure yet. But look how stinking cute that is. That is so cute. So there's a little bit here for everybody, but we wanted to share that with you while we were not live, but we had the video for you. So we're going to go ahead and get this sent to you. If you have any questions, we gotta go try to find a place where we can get internet. And so if you have any questions, I mean, you can try to get in touch with us through, through the phone and everything, but we're not gonna be online, so we don't have internet. So, but anyways, thank you, ladies. Don't call me all. Bye, guys. Have fun.